Paranormal Crossings Into the Light. I'm your host, Darrin Collins.
I'm Darrin Scholl.
And James Mitchell.
Today, we'd like to talk to you about Bigfoot.
Oh, we are going to go down the absolute rabbit hole of Bigfoot.
Yes, sir.
Theories, beliefs, the different groups, different ideologies. We're going down that rabbit hole.
We're looking forward to it, actually. You know, this is something that we've been wanting to talk about for quite a while.
Absolutely. Kind of change things up a little bit.
Yeah, a lot.
Indulge into other...
That's right.
Well,
unexplained.
And we're hoping by doing this, we want to open the door, so to speak, for people to hopefully write into the show, comment. You can do that now. This is live Saturday, August 21st. And we would like you to chime in. And if you have something to say about it, this isn't a debate. This is just something that we don't have all the answers. Nobody does. So this is why we do what we do. It's a discussion. That's why we're researchers, investigators. And we just wanted to bring all this to the table. And you've done a tremendous amount of research regarding these topics. And we are going to go through 5 different theories.
Yes.
So,
well, the whole thing is, that got me thinking about it, was the Oregon Ghost Conference. You got everybody in a room. And if I bring to the table an EVP and I say, what do you think about this? That person is going to say it's an EVP. Next person is going to say that's an EVP. Third, fourth, fifth, EVP. If we bring evidence to the table and say, okay, I have a haunting that happens every full moon at midnight. The ghost starts from the kitchen, goes to this room, goes to this room, and it always says the same thing. We'd all call that a residual haunting. If it's able to respond back, I think we all agree it's an intelligent haunting.
right.
Yep.
If it's saying it's the lamb and follow me and worship me and giving off some very bad vibes, we would all say demonic.
Right.
Right. Now, some of us have had a chance to go to some Bigfoot conferences because after the incident that happened 2 years ago with us, out in the woods, James and I went to a conference, and we were trying to talk to them about, hey, listen, this was our experience. This is what we ran into, and we would like to know more.
Yep.
Now, the problem is, unlike the ghost conference, you take in a piece of information. We got some pictures. We'll show up later. But we took one picture to one table. We got one answer. We took the same picture to another table. We got a whole different answer. Third table, different answer, altogether different from the other ones. Because of the fact that like you said, there are 5 different major theories on the Bigfoot research front, where everybody that's involved in Bigfoot research, they're not ever in total agreement on what's going on.
Why is that?
I don't know. Unlike if you look at the 3 major fields of research into the paranormal: ghosts, Bigfoot, UFO. Those of us in the ghost field seem to, like I said, agree on everything. You know, okay, yeah. I think that this would be this. I think this would be this. And then you'll have 16 more investigators go, yep. I mean, we might disagree on if it's a Class A EVP or a Class B EVP, but for the most part, oh yeah, that's an EVP. Now, little side note, by the way, we're not going to cover the UFO field today because those people have more infighting. Because I've been to UFO festivals and conferences and tried to talk to them, and you can have 6 tables, and all 6 tables hate each other because they all say, my research is more important than your research.
It's either their way or no way.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much infighting going on in the UFO research. And because of the fact that we like to preach para-unity, all of us
Absolutely.
groups come together, help each other out. We're able to share information if need be. We're able to understand more information. The Bigfoot community, on the other hand, there is the differences of opinion on what a Bigfoot is, why it is, and everything else that I don't think you're able to really get any hardcore research, because you can't go to the next person and say, hey, I found this track. It's got this difference to it. What do you think? Because Camp B might say, oh, well, it has an extra toe because of the fact that it's not a natural being. It's this. So there's whole lot of indifferences to it. Now, we've all been to the NABC in
Yes.
North American
Yeah.
It's
Bigfoot Center
In Boring, Oregon.
in Boring, Oregon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great place. They're opening up a new section as well.
Yeah, it is a good place, but they basically believe in one theory, and they stick to that theory.
Yeah.
There are other people who, well, I mean, we can go through the theories and then.
Well, let's get back to what you were saying
Okay.
about going to the different tables. I don't want to talk about UFO. Let's talk
Yeah.
just Bigfoot. So what is the problem? You were talking about para-unity. So why can't, what is the infighting with everybody? That doesn't make sense to me as a paranormal investigator, because we can all still get along. We may not have the same view on certain things, but so what? That's just what I said, our own views. So what's wrong with the Bigfoot researchers? What's going on with them?
Well, it's because of, there are 5 basic things that they think that a Bigfoot is.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is it is a natural creature. Gigantopithecus blackia, I believe, is the scientific name. They believe it is a holdover from prehistoric times.
Okay.
So that camp believes that, okay, this is a holdover from prehistoric times, been wandering the woods forever. We just haven't been able to find it. It's like a coelacanth. God, I don't remember what the shark is that they just found. I don't know. It's deep sea shark. They looked at it. They said, yeah, this is a prehistoric shark. But I mean, there's animals we're finding now and people are going, okay, well, this has been around forever and a day. Like I've had to use the analogy of, okay, gorillas. Gorillas up until, and I had to write this one down, 1902 was the biggest myth and legend going on around there, those parts. Because everybody was saying, oh yeah, we're seeing these giant apes walking around up in the mountains. And everyone's like, okay, but we're not finding anything. We're not seeing anything. Until they finally went up there in 1902 and they were able to start to go, oh, there are giant gorillas up here. So you got that camp of Bigfoot researchers. It's just a holdover. It's been here forever. So they're going to believe in this creature lives in the woods, dies in the woods. It's just up there. We just got to find it.
Right.
Some of your other camps kind of get to a certain degree where the other camps will start to look down on them. I mean, now as paranormal investigators, we go to a Bigfoot conference and we announce who we are. A lot of Bigfoot researchers will tend to kind of roll the eyes and go, oh, great, it's the ghost people. Somebody locked the doors. The ghost people are here. Oh, my God. If you're a UFO guy and you go in, it's even worse.
Right. They should stick to their own kind.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what they're thinking.
Well,
why can't we just cross over? I mean, and that's kind of what we want to do, is we want to start researching the Bigfoot, the whole Bigfoot thing.
Right.
And
Well, I
that's
mean,
kind of what we want to do, and that's what we're doing. We don't need permission. This is what we want to do, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
which is why we want to bring this up today.
yeah, because I mean, there are 5 different views. So, I mean,
Yeah.
any information we get and we go out, we're going to be hit with a little bit of sheltering of their knowledge.
Yeah.
And it all kind of depends on who we go to,
Right. Right.
because I mean, the second one,
Yeah.
second theory of what Bigfoot is.
Okay.
And this is going to lead into,
No, these are actual theories that are out
these are
there.
actually
Yeah.
theories
Right.
that are out there. This isn't UFOs. That Bigfoot are deposited on the planet by UFOs. As I use the analogy, it's like you're driving across country with the family dog. He's got to go piddle. You pull over, you let him out for a little bit, and you just kind of go, all right, come on back, Fido, let's go. We got to get to SETI Alpha 6 pretty quick. So you got that camp of Bigfoot researchers who believe that they are from outer space. UFOs are dropping them off. Now, these people go to a Bigfoot conference, and I haven't seen many at a Bigfoot conference. Mostly those are UFO conferences. I talked to one guy who swore up and down, yes, they are dropped off by UFOs because of the fact that when UFO activity goes high and there's a lot of sightings, there's also a lot of Bigfoot sightings at the same time. So I don't know if that's real or not.
Do they have proof of that?
I was going to ask, is there any kind of evidence linking the two together?
It's mostly just the sightings of UFOs and the sightings of Bigfoot seem to happen more at the same time in that particular region.
What region is that? Do you know?
It's pretty much kind of all over.
It's an all over region.
It's an all over region.
Uh-huh.
But it's say if you got like 20 UFO sightings in Phoenix, I'm just using this as an example, then this camp of people, Camp 2, will say, oh yeah, there were 20 sightings of UFOs and 15 sightings of Bigfoot on the same weekend that all this was going on. So that's their evidence to it. And then there's the third camp, who is a little bit more pushed off to the side. The other camps really don't associate with camp number 3 a whole lot. And that is Bigfoot gets here through cosmic portals.
The spiritual plane.
Well, that's technically number 4.
Oh, sorry. Jumped ahead there.
No, the theory on that one is that somewhere in the future or aliens or something has created these giant wormholes that open up sporadically around the world. And that's how you get your Loch Ness, your Thunderbirds, your Mothman, your Bigfoot, is a portal magically opens up somewhere. This thing is just sitting over in prehistoric time, wandering around, eating berries. Oh, look, a circle of a light. I wonder what's over there. Boom. Oh, hey. There's people looking at me. I better turn around and go back.
Who comes up with this idea? Somebody tripping on acid or shrooms? Or
the way they're getting this basis is kind of twofold.
Okay.
One, they're saying that Bigfoot tracks seem to end after a while, as if there was a door and they were picked up. So it's walking. There's no more tracks.
Okay.
So they're saying it must be a portal. It must be something. The other part of this that really fueled this theory was at Skinwalker Ranch down in Utah.
Okay.
Because when Nibs was down there and they were investigating the whole place, which is a whole nother show, they said that a glowing portal of light opened up and a Bigfoot walked out and then walked up into the hills.
Okay. I can see that.
So,
I mean, I'm not saying I believe in that theory. I'm just saying I can see where they get that from, maybe.
Right. So that theory is a little bit more down the line. Not a lot of people like to play with those kids. The fourth theory, spirit world.
Okay.
That these things have been around forever and
Yeah.
a day. They're tribal spirits that are here to protect the tribes, protect the land. And they just kind of, if you see one, it's just the spirit came out. It'd be like seeing an angel or some.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be, okay, it's a spirit guide coming out. Oh, it's a Bigfoot, and then it's gone, and that's why we can't get it on pictures because it's technically not a real being. It's just it's shimmering in between dimensions, check up on things.
Right. Okay.
And then there's number 5, the fifth theory.
Dun dun dun.
It's all a hoax.
That one seems to get the most.
Yeah.
Right. Now, see, some people would say that our sighting, what happened to us, is a hoax. Oh, somebody was
Sure.
up in the woods
Sure.
waiting on you guys.
Right.
Somebody was up planting footprints.
Right.
Somebody was here. Somebody was there. It's all a hoax.
Okay. Nobody knew we were going out in the middle of freaking nowhere.
And to be looking for a Bigfoot, nonetheless.
We weren't even looking. That
Yeah.
was the thing. We were investigating something totally different, and you stumbled across it.
Well, technically, it stumbled
And it
upon
wasn't- yeah.
us
Right.
because it was throwing rocks at us.
Right. So there's no way somebody pulled a prank on us out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, you guys were there.
Yeah.
This was in the middle of nowhere. And then the thing that we caught on the FLIR, you just happen to have that FLIR with you. There's no way possible that somebody could have pulled a hoax on us that day.
Right.
At that time, there's no
there's
way. Across how many yards? 100 yards from us,
At least, yeah.
out not where we were. There's no way. There was no one that could have been where we were, out, especially in the terrain that they had to have been in to pull that. There's no way. I'm not believing that at all. There's no way. 100% no way.
The thing is, if it was a hoax,
Mhm.
that means you had 3 people that decided to get all camoed up and go sit in the woods, go, all right, I'm going to wait here, and then there's going to be some Bigfoot hunters coming along eventually, and we're gonna spook them real good.
Yeah.
All right.
Have my little pile of rocks here, throw them out
Right.
when they come by.
And hope that somebody's
Somebody's going to come out.
out. Not even Bigfoot people, because we weren't.
Yeah, we were just on a logging road in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. At that time of day, there's no way. So that was not a hoax. I can tell you that 100%. I can tell you 100% that was not a hoax. No one knew we were coming out there for any reason. So there's no. Anyway. So I love the fact that there are theories, because then we can kind of pick and choose. I'm not saying the people that came up with these theories are crazy or anything like that. I'm not going to say that. I wouldn't say that about anybody.
Well, within the Bigfoot research community, each camp basically does kind of look down on the other camp. And even though, okay, so you got camp 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Mm-hmm.
So camp 1, okay, these are natural creatures, been around forever and a day. Even within that community, you're going to have different viewpoints that don't coincide with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So we found a structure which was not downfall from the winter.
Yeah.
I used to live in Montana. I know what downfall from the winter looks like when an avalanche comes through. The hill that we were on was not steep enough to cause that much of a log jam.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, when we were there, table 1, oh, we've never seen Bigfoot build these teepees before. Table number 2, we've never seen Bigfoot build these teepees before, but look at what's inside the teepee.
Why'd they call it a teepee?
Because it's just kind of built up like a
It kind
teepee.
of looks like a teepee.
Yeah, I called it a den.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But the second table said, oh, well, do you notice that all the vegetation that's inside this thing, they went ahead and called it a teepee.
Okay.
Even though they didn't want to stress that, no,
Right.
we've never seen Bigfoot build this. That the vegetation that was inside this was not native to what was immediately around the area.
Yeah.
So something had brought all the stuff here to make a bed.
Mm.
Table number 3 for that day. Yes. Bigfoot build teepees for protection.
Uh-huh. So you got one to agree.
We got one to agree, 2 that said no, 1 said that the whole bedding aspect, because table number 2, they work up in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
They even did a presentation about finding Bigfoot nests. These just giant nests of, plant matter, fluff, where they've documented Bigfoot have been sleeping in. They found hair, they found all kind of stuff. But table number 1 looks at table number 2 and says, no, Bigfoot don't nest.
Wow.
I was sitting there watching everyone's reaction during table number 2's presentation. Table number 1 was just kind of looking like, oh, no, that's not right. None of this is right. I mean, he was very kind of had that look like, no, they don't nest. But I mean, that's the thing. And then of course, how many breeds of Sasquatch are there?
Yeah.
15.
Wow.
15.
Is that what
15 different breeds.
Wow.
And where'd you come up with this?
This is off another Bigfoot website where they're saying, okay, well, you've got your Pacific Northwest. So you got everybody from Canada and Oregon that is been described as this kind of a face, this kind of a build. Then you've got everybody in the Southwest that's got this build, this body shape. Their face is different. Then you got Texas. You got Florida skunk apes that's supposed to look totally different from our Sasquatch over here. Then you've got the Yowie from Australia that's supposed to look even different from anybody else's. So, I mean, if we were to go with camp number 1, it's a natural creature, then yes, I can understand why there would be different variances in different regions. Florida skunk ape. Okay, it smells really bad. It's got longer hair. It's not as tall. It's only about 6-7 feet tall. Well, okay, yeah, because it's in swamps and everything. Ours are supposed to be 7 to 9 feet tall.
7 to 9, yeah, something like that.
Something like that. But they're stockier, leaner, just, we've got more rugged woods and stuff.
Yeah.
More mountains. So,
Right.
So I mean, the research is just kind of like varied all over the place. So, if you go with theory number 1, that these are natural creatures.
Yeah.
Now, if you're going with the UFO theory, that the UFO is dropping the pets off to go piddle in the woods, then, I mean, that theory would apply. Okay, well, why is this Bigfoot different from this Bigfoot? Well, okay, we all have house pets. We all have different dogs. Dogs don't come in one shape and size. Huskies, Malamutes, Dalmatians.
Yep.
There's different breeds to go
Pit
around.
bulls.
Pit bulls. So everybody's going to have a different breed of dog. Okay,
Right.
so UFO is going to have, they didn't want the large model, the large breed dog this time around. So they went ahead and got the Pekingese, which is probably be the Florida skunk ape, or you got the Yeti but so, I mean, yeah, 1, creatures would be developed according to the region that they're in.
Yeah.
2, different breeds, and the aliens are picking them up at a Universal Pet Smart. I don't know.
Jeez.
I don't know. I some of these other theories, I don't want to call them crackpot,
No.
but it's just trying to dive in and talk to these people and go, okay, can you give me a little bit more information?
Mhm.
And
Do any of these camps have anything close to being similar as in their investigations? I mean, any kind of evidence or how they investigate or you, you know some just small molecule of
we're trying to find a common
a
denominator.
common denominator. Yeah, that's the word.
Footprints, hair,
That's
the
it.
calls. That's pretty much
Other
about
than
it.
That's what I like about Expedition Bigfoot. Is that the name of it?
Expedition Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That's the newest one.
That's what I like about this newest show is because they are taking the full scientific approach. And
And I like-
finding the hair and sending it out. And they're actually finding some very interesting stuff from the, excuse me, from the hair samples.
Right.
And that's what we're waiting on now for the new season.
Right. Exactly.
I think that's how
Yeah.
they left it.
And I like how they are thinking that it's like a seasonal thing
Yeah.
where
They
they have to go
migrate.
in migration. They go into that area at that specific time
Yeah.
and try to hone in that way.
Yeah.
I mean, compared that with the other show, which is more, I think, more entertainment than actual
Yeah.
science
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, next time we go out, we need to have a crime kit.
Yeah. I fully agree. And that's what I was
rubber
saying. to you.
gloves, tweezers,
Yeah.
plastic baggies. We need
Evidence bags, everything.
because I bet
No contamination whatsoever. And the same thing with sounds. And that's what I like about this new show as well, is that they were able to download the sounds that they captured and send it to a professional analyst and seriously analyze the sounds that they captured and compare it to any other known animal to make any of those sounds. And there was no comparison to any known animal.
Well, I know I still have the business card for one of those tables at Squatch Fest.
Mm.
And we talked, and I said, yeah, I know I'm in a ghost. And he was like, hey, no worries.
So what?
So what?
Doesn't
You're in a
matter.
ghost.
All you have to do is say, I'm a researcher. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
You don't tell them
Well,
what you do.
He gave me his card. He says, listen, we've got contacts at one of the local universities up here in Washington.
Perfect.
If you find hair or anything else, here's my card. We'll give you guys a credit. Get it to us. Email us. We'll send it to the university to do all the testing.
Nice.
You guys get all the credit. We're here to help.
Mm.
So, I mean, I liked those guys.
Mhm.
They were a little bit more open to discussion.
Nice.
Table number one really was not.
Table number one is if it's the one I think it is. Yeah, no, he wasn't.
Well, he's been on TV a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I was disappointed with that.
I don't want to put the guy down.
No.
We're not going to mention the
No.
name.
Nope.
No.
He's a great person though.
He is a good person.
Mm.
He is a good person, but I think it was when I introduced myself and said who I was and what group I was
Mhm.
and what we were doing. It was one of those.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't even care about credit. I just, it's all for research. That's what we all have a common goal, and that's to figure this all out together, and that's why we do this together. We're all separate groups. And here we are coming together to do the show. We're coming together as researchers to find the common goal, which is, to figure all this out together, para-unity, as we always call it,
Right.
And so, I mean, sure, it'd be nice to have the credit as to finding out what Bigfoot is, who Bigfoot is, and do this all together. So we are going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to continue discussing these theories, the 5 theories on what Bigfoot is. So, yeah, we'll be right back with Paranormal Crossings Into the Light. Stay right back. Stay with us.
And we are back to Paranormal Crossings Into the Light. We are talking all things Bigfoot. We are going down the rabbit hole, and we have yet to hit bottom.
Nice. So let's get back to these 5 theories. I mean,
Which is what they are, theories.
that's
They are
exactly-
That's right.
Absolutely. You were saying with, oh God, here we go again, the brain freeze. We were talking, actually, let me rephrase, about, the episode, the TV show, and how I like how they go and do the migration and figuring it out. Uh, with that, I mean, I don't. I got nothing right now. I just went totally blank.
It kind of makes sense though, if you
I
think
mean-
about
Well-
it. But I don't know. I've always kind of believed in the theory of them being. I like the Native American belief as well. I haven't adapted to or adopted to any theory really.
Well,
but
I mean-
I like the idea of it being spiritual, how they can pop in and out. They communicate telepathically. We haven't really talked about that.
I haven't talked about that one yet.
Uh,
but no, the tribes actually do call them the old men of the woods
Yeah,
or old men of the mountains, depending
Yeah.
on where you are.
right.
It was one of the big things is, oh yeah, well, the old man in the mountain.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't believe that they're here to hurt us. I believe they're here to protect the woods, the trees, the vegetation, things like that. I believe that they will possibly attack if they feel threatened. You're going into their habitat. They're not coming to our home.
yeah.
I'm assuming. Now, this is just my theory, but I do believe they do speak telepathically. So those of us that can receive those messages telepathically, that we can communicate with them. But again,
Oh yeah, we haven't even covered
Yeah.
communication processes.
yeah,
We haven't even gone there yet.
yeah,
So you talked about psychically. So
Yeah.
yes, some people within the research field feel that they talk in grunts,
mhm,
howls, whoops, your basic gorilla style speak.
right,
They bang logs against trees for like drums for messages.
yeah,
Now we had some of that happen to us up in the woods.
Mhm.
I banged on a tree with a stick. We got a response. I did a couple hoops. We got responses. We also have rocks being thrown at us. A lot of times that seems to be like a defensive mechanism.
mhm,
Like they'll start throwing out.
If you get a little too close.
You get a little too close. You're in an area you're not supposed to be. They'll start tossing rocks at you for you to leave.
mhm,
Then you get the eyesight. The eyes.
Oh yeah.
Eyes.
Yeah, we had that one that was in the little den in the very back. I got it on camera. You can see the eyes shine.
Yeah.
I have to dig up that picture. But no, then we got psychically.
Yeah.
That they can talk psychically to people.
right,
I don't know if that would count as they're a terrestrial being, spiritual being, or UFO being.
mhm,
How that would apply to each category.
mhm.
Um,
I don't. My personal opinion, I think it's spiritual. I don't believe it's extraterrestrial. That's my personal belief, just mine. So don't slam me with comments. Our other buddy who went with us, he is commenting on the show right now. Thanks, Bill. And he fully agrees with what I said about it not being a hoax. He said, "Nope, I was there, and I'm a skeptic." He said, "But that was not a hoax." And so, thanks for confirming that with me, Bill. But anyways, yeah, I fully believe that it is a spiritual being that can pop in and out. That's my belief. It does have defense mechanisms like the rest of us. And the throwing of rocks, the hitting on trees is communication, I believe.
Right.
But yeah.
Well, I mean, there's so much that is going on within everything.
Hmm.
I mean, there are recordings done up in Washington.
Yeah.
It was actually on a Missing 411 show that a friend of mine said, "You need to watch this." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't follow the Missing 411, the random appearances. That's not my field of research."
Yeah.
And she said, "No, you got to watch this because it's Bigfoot in there."
Really.
Guy's going up on this mountain. He's up there every single summer with
Mhm.
his buddies. One night, they get surrounded.
Hmm.
And then we got what's called samurai talk. He has a recording of two of these creatures. And they're talking back and forth, and it sounds like they're speaking Japanese. But samurai.
Really.
I mean, not really Klingon, but it sounds like they're speaking like samurais, That's how it's been defined as samurai speak. And it's a back and a forth between two different creatures. So, I mean, again, how that fits into any of those 5 categories. Now, if it is a spirit, it would, well, if it's a spirit or a quantum Bigfoot that zips in and out of this reality to the past, present, future, wherever the other realities go, it would explain why you just kind of see them. Because that seems to be the way to find them is to not look.
Mm.
That's what everybody says. Well, what were you doing when you saw the Bigfoot? I was paddling down this river and I looked over and there it was. I'm riding a horse and I'm riding down the trail and I just looked over and there it is. We're looking for a graveyard. Look over. Hey, look what's there. So if it is a spirit form or a quantum that's just zipping in and out, it would be more of a good explanation. It's popping in, popping out, footprints begin and end randomly. Because, I mean, anybody that's been like out in the woods a lot would understand that we were making a lot of noise that day.
Oh yeah.
And we were radios blasting, we were talking loud. Going down the trail, it's going to hear us before we even come anywhere close to it.
Exactly.
And it's going to hightail it out of there. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, okay, well, if you're going out and you're looking for the stuff, you should see it. I'm like, well, do you ever see deer when you're going out hiking? Because you're walking along, you're making a lot of noise. You're broadcasting your signal ahead of you. So if it is a spirit thing and it was just zipped into our universe while we were walking past,
It's a chance.
There's a chance to it.
Yeah.
But I mean,
yeah, who knows? I
Yeah.
mean, it's coming and going and coming. Bigfoot. Yeah, I mean, the smells. I mean, I don't think we smelled anything when we were out there.
not that time. I don't
No.
think we were even paying any attention
to. Yeah, you're just walking around. We see that. It's like pure excitement because obviously it wasn't something we were.
Oh, we weren't
happening
expecting it
there
at
at
all.
all,
We did. That was
That was
dumb
almost,
luck.
It was dumb luck. Kind of like giddy. Oh man, look what we got here! And then our one investigation turns into that second one, and then we're like, let's check this out around the area. And I still with the FLIR and all that, trying to catch. I still haven't been able to follow that all the way through yet because I was having a hard time seeing what you were seeing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, I know we've sent some pictures in
Yes.
The first picture is of some trees that the bark was peeled off of.
Yes. Some small trees.
Yeah. Now I know from my past in survival uh, and bushcrafting, a lot of small trees, the inner bark is got a lot of starch to it.
Mhm.
So something, okay, because a lot of people say, okay, well, is there enough food to go around for these things? Okay, well, you peel off the bark, you got a starch. And those trees were peeled.
Absolutely. There's not one shred of bark on those. So, and trying to eliminate other animals that could have possibly done that, it just didn't make sense. I mean, I'm not sure bear would have done that, cougar or
Probably not.
not.
Maybe
Absolutely.
maybe a deer, but
Or
they would be more going for the leafy greens
exactly,
than the
yeah.
inner bark.
So and just having those, there was like 4 or 5 of those right there. That
Yeah,
small clump,
and it was right next to the teepee.
exactly
We're going to go ahead and call it a teepee. It might not be a teepee, but it looked like
an
a teepee.
unfinished teepee.
An unfinished teepee. It was a shelter of some kind.
Yeah,
So
sure.
we're going to call it a teepee. But yeah, it was right there. So I mean, it's like you've got if you're sleeping in the teepee, you've got food right there.
Mhm.
So I mean, you got your refrigerator right outside the way.
Exactly.
There. So yeah, I mean, that was looking at that, going, okay, yeah, that's definitely a food item that they could be eating off of. There was also berries. It was early spring, I believe, that we were there.
Yeah, it was in April.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, like most of the inner bark would be primed to be eating off the young trees.
Mhm.
Berries would probably still be coming in a little bit. So I mean, that would explain why all those trees were peeled
Right.
dry of the bark. Is not
berries.
much else has come in yet.
Right.
I mean, you don't have your roots, your tubers, your berries. So you go with your young tree shoots. There's your starch.
Mhm.
And then our second picture is actually of the inside of the teepee and how everything was interlocked.
Yeah.
Now, I know a lot of people like to say that, okay, yeah, it's downfall from the avalanches in the wintertime. But
Right.
I
But
mean,
the way it is, if you're standing inside of it and looking straight up, you could tell it wasn't just a fall over or whatnot. You could see the intricacy of how those trees were put together.
yeah, that's starting of a shelter.
Absolutely.
I mean, a downfall or whatever term you want to use for it. I mean, in Montana, we called it something totally different than a downfall. Everything's coming, you got your avalanche. It comes down the mountain. It picks up all your trees.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just deposits everything down in a nice little bunch. And everything's normally packed on top of each other. They're not interlaced so much.
Right.
Now, like I said before, a lot of the Bigfoot researchers say, oh, we've never seen this happen. The other half say, yeah, we get these a lot in certain times, which goes along with the migration theory. Because I know that out on Sophie's Island, we've heard something. That was the one area that we all went and had cigars after Pisgah House.
Mhm.
That was down on the river there.
Yep.
And it was across the river in August. Every August for the longest time, I go down there, set up a chair, grab a stogie, just enjoy the day,
Just
enjoy the river.
the stogie. And, yep.
But then I would hear it across the river. It's screaming, it's yelling. It's not pigs. It's not monkeys. It's nothing I've ever heard. And it's just screaming and yelling and crashing through bushes. And so I had to research the area. I'm like, okay, well.
Now, how far away was that from where you were at? I mean, distance wise.
That was about 600 yards. I was able to get it on camera a couple times. on video
Nice.
where you can kind of hear it kind of echoing back. I did have to research the area about farms and everything because that's kind of what's on that little bend is a couple farms.
Right.
Nobody has a cow is not going to sound like a screaming, howling monkey. There's nothing on the island for that kind of stuff. There's no pig farms.
Right.
It was just this howling monkey, but just darker and deeper. And, yeah, but it only happens in the summer. Now it's been a while since I've been there because of COVID and everything, so I don't know if it's
still
still going on. But it was always every August when I go out there, just chilling. Light up a smoke, and then you can hear it across the way there.
Need to get on over there and check it out.
I did the entire drive all the way back around to try to get back to that area. And I would have to hike in. And that's all swamp area right there. So I still don't know what's going on. I eventually got to get the kayak out and
just go across the water.
Just go across the Delaware and just hope for the best. But no, we were talking about migration theories being a possibility. I mean, getting back to the spirit theory, it does kind of make sense. Because of the fact, I mean, like when you left, we were talking about we were making a lot of noise that day.
Oh yeah.
All of us had radios. All of us were talking. All of us were making a commotion. Now, anyone who's a hunter or spent a lot of time out in the woods, they're going to know that the more noise you make, it's a concentric circle. So the noise you make here is going to resound. And, a lot of people say, okay, well, what's that mean? Well, if you're walking through the woods and you see a bunch of birds take off out of this tree over here, and you're just sitting, okay, something's over there. Something's coming over this direction. It doesn't have to be bad, but okay, something's over in that way. And then you start to watch, the concentric circles that we put off also resound back in the nature.
Right.
So as we're walking along and we're talking and we're joking and having a good time and shouting and screaming, the sound waves we give off bounce out. So those trees, the birds in the trees over here are going to hear that. They don't want to mess with us, so they're going to fly off. Well, that's going to signal the next batch of trees and the next batch of birds, and they're going to fly off. So any deer, bear, mountain lion that just doesn't want to be messed with,
right?
They're going to be paying attention to what goes on to that ring going through the woods,
the environment around them.
Yeah. And they're going to take off. But why didn't the Bigfoot do that? They had to have heard us coming.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, just if it is a spirit thing, we were meant to see them. We were meant to encounter that.
Yeah.
Because that's, if anything else, they should have taken off. They should have hit a little bit better. They should not be answering, oh God, it's these people again. Just go.
Humans.
Get the kid. Let's go. Come on. But they stuck around. So, are they spiritual beings? Possibly. Because it did put us down a road that we were not originally on. So,
right.
Message from the great beyond. Hey, guys, you need to expand your view a little bit. So, maybe that's a possibility. I mean, we were talking about migration. It does kind of make sense when they're seen, if they are a terrestrial creature, yes, they would have to go with the food source.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even gorillas have a little bit of a migration route from, one area to another area and then back to another area.
Yeah.
So,
well, I watch a lot of Discovery and a lot of National Geographic, things like that. One thing I've learned is, had we as people kept one mindset, we wouldn't be where we are today. Same thing with the paranormal. You mentioned, had we not veered off the road that we were on, or been led down that other road, maybe we wouldn't even gone down the road we're going down today for this topic. And that's, maybe this could be a lesson for not just us, but for other researchers to broaden your scope and open your eyes, open the umbrella, and stop being closed-minded to other theories, other possibilities, because we've opened our minds. I was closed-minded for the longest time. When I first started Paranormal Crossings so many years ago, I didn't really want to go into Bigfoot, into cryptids, and other avenues. I just wanted to stay with ghosts and spirits and things like that. But now, look where we are.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so much more out there that we don't even understand. And so here we're wanting to open the doors to other possibilities. We want to invite guests for, for these other types of avenues. And I think people need to open their minds. Other investigators, and people in general, the public, need to understand there's more out there than behind, or just within their four walls at home.
Yeah.
There's more to understand.
Well-
Stop being so close-minded.
Well, see, here's a perfect example. Nowadays, most people, you drive to work, you drive home, you drive to work, you drive home.
Yeah.
You're focused right here.
Yep.
You're
Tunnel
not paying a tunnel vision. You get home, your tunnel vision, you just zone on TV.
Yeah.
A couple years back in St. Helens, there was a town hall,
Mhm.
and they were talking about the coyote problem
Mm-hmm.
because nobody understood the fact that coyotes and deer, possums, raccoons all venture into your yard in the middle of the night.
Mhm.
So there was a big town hall discussion.
Mm.
Oh my God, a bunch of coyotes got my dog and I left it out at night. Well,
Mm.
yeah, we're not Portland. we are rural.
Backed up into
Yeah.
the woods. Yeah.
Which it happens in Portland now.
It
yeah.
does happen in Portland
Yeah.
now because, I mean,
They gotta go somewhere.
yeah, they got to go
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But the thing was, you have all these people going at this town hall going, if I would have known that there were coyotes and all these other critters coming into my yard, I would have moved. This
Oh
is
my
not medieval Europe.
Gosh, are you serious?
Yeah. But see, the thing is, I've always been a late night owl.
Mhm.
I love staying up at night.
Mm-hmm.
One of my old apartment buildings, there used to be a pack of coyotes that would walk down the road, 3:00 in the morning.
Hmm.
There were several occasions where a buddy of mine lived a street over, and I go walk over to his house, hang out, watch TV, just chill, relax. Not a lot of drinking, just chilling, relaxing, hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
3:00 in the morning. Well, all right. Well, I'm gonna go home, and I'd walk that block over, and here comes that pack of coyotes, and they would follow me up the street. Not an intimidating manner. A couple
Right.
times they were walking right next to me. And I was like, you know what, guys? I'm not gonna mind you. You don't mind me.
Mm-hmm.
You're out hunting. I'm going home. I mean, there were plenty of times that I took out one of my dogs. Same apartment building.
Mm.
3:00 in the morning. Luckily, she was a small dog, and I'd have to go over and I'd grab her, pick her up, because I walked out the door. Here comes 6 deer down the road.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, okay, you need to come in for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you chasing deer. I'm never going to catch you.
Right.
I mean, I remember my parents calling me, my mom calling me saying, hey, I need you to come over for a second. I got a bunch of possums in the backyard. Can you scare them out?
Mm.
I got raccoons in the backyard. Can you come scare them out?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the thing is, what we don't see all the time
Yeah.
is still out there.
Yeah.
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 I mean, a lot of people, like on our first show, we were talking about, a lot of people are noticing ghosts and paranormal stuff nowadays because they're more at the house.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You know?
It's called awareness.
Yeah.
It's that, and that's what we did at the Shanghai tunnels. Not only were we talking about the Shanghai and things like that, we were also talking about the spirits that were down there, and but we were also talking about the awareness for kidnapping and human trafficking, things like that, because it's still happening today.
Yeah.
And we're bringing awareness. Same thing what we're doing now, bringing awareness to all the
Yeah.
things around us, the Bigfoot, things like that. It's called awareness. Just because you can't see it all the time in your backyard or things like that, still making people aware. Let's discuss it. Let's talk about it.
Well, the thing is, if we can get all these different camps to sit down together, and I know it's hard because we're ghost guys,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of the other camps won't talk to us because we're
Mhm.
ghost people. Oh, you guys you chase ghosts in the middle of the night, and they things that go bumping. Ooh, we're out in the woods. All right. Well, a lot of the times that some of these big groups
Mhm.
that'll put us down.
Mhm.
And that's the only disparaging remark I'm going to say about this. I'm not going to name the group.
No.
No, we're not here to play the name game and blaming everybody, but their way of research is to open up to the public, charge $300 for a weekend. They go out to an area where Bigfoot has been seen X amount of times. They give everyone a radio and they go, all right, group A, you're going that way. Group B, you're going to go that way. You're going to make a lot of noise and you're going to scare everything to us.
Okay.
So you've got 40 people that have never been in the woods, flashlights, radios, tromping around, crashing through the brush, scaring everything away. The only one that's winning this entire thing is the group that's making all the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, I think some Bigfoot researchers, and I agree with their way of thinking, go out in the woods and don't be looking.
Yeah.
Go sit.
Yeah.
Because 99% of the times you find a Bigfoot is when you're not expecting it.
Yeah.
So if it's a spiritual thing,
Yeah.
you got to let it happen. You
Right.
can't force it. If it's a natural thing, it's a natural creature,
Mm-hmm.
you just got to understand, okay, yeah, I might see it, I might not.
Yep.
You know, I mean, in Montana, we always had the saying that if you go in the woods looking for a bear, you're going to find a bear
Mm-hmm.
because your mind is going to start creating a bear.
Oh yeah.
So I know a lot of people that have gone in the woods looking for Bigfoot, and they take pictures and they're like, I saw a Bigfoot. I'm like, no, that's a rotten old tree
Mhm.
Yeah.
because you went looking.
Yeah.
Now, Gimlin and God, I just spaced up.
Patterson and Gimlin.
Patterson and Gimlin.
Mm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I just blanked. Guaranteed they were going out in the woods looking. Now then, a lot of people say Camp 1, they stumbled upon a family of Bigfoot. They were lucky. They videotaped it. The best footage we have.
Mm.
Camp 5, the hoaxers.
Mm.
They hoaxed the whole thing because they were out there looking. They were looking to make a movie. They were looking to make money. They hoaxed everything.
Mhm.
Here's why I don't believe Camp 5 has anything to stand on with that one. At the same Bigfoot festival, I met Bob Gimlin.
Mm.
And I shook his hand. I looked in his eyes. And I said, so the day you made the film, that must have really shooken you to the core. And he said, yeah, it did. But we did it.
Mm.
And I believed him because he wasn't wavering. His eyes were not wavering. He just had that look like, yeah, I saw what I saw. I'm not making any excuses.
Hmm.
And I walked out of there going, okay. That's kind of all I needed, just to see the man, see his look on his face. He didn't look away, looked straight at me. He was just like, yeah, we saw what we saw.
Didn't add a bunch of stuff to it or anything. He just
His
that was it.
story has never changed.
Yeah.
It has never
Yeah.
altered.
I've seen interviews with him before.
And
So, yeah.
I trust the guy.
Yeah.
The look in his eyes.
Yeah.
You know,
So we're going to be wrapping this up. And one thing I wanted to tell you is what we can do is we're not going to change anybody. But what we can do, and what my dad always said, is lead by example. And that's what we're doing. We're leading by example. And that is, the whole para-unity thing. I believe that we're good at what we do with the Oregon Ghost Conference and with our own groups. We lead by example. And if the Bigfoot research community want to follow, let them follow. But we are crossing over by doing the Bigfoot research on our own. We don't need them. We can do what we do best and do our research. And you have a contact, and let's follow up with that contact when the time comes, when we have our own evidence. And let's continue doing the shows that we want to do and that we're going to do. And I believe that we are going to get some responses from this show and future shows.
Well,
and
I would
build on that.
I would personally love to have anybody from any of these Bigfoot camps come in or call in or let's talk. I mean, if you believe that it was dropped off by a UFO, okay, I'm open to this. I'm not putting that down.
No.
Hoaxers, I might put down because of the fact we saw what we saw, and But I mean, if you think it's a UFO dropping it off, okay, let's talk about this. Let's compare evidence.
Yeah.
If it's a quantum Bigfoot zipping in from
I'd love to hear more about
700 BC to now, please give us the information. Give us what you know.
Yeah, explain. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that.
I mean, I'm not going to put anybody down for their thoughts and their theories.
No, we don't do that.
No, but I do want to learn more. You know, let's share with everything.
Yeah.
And I think if the four camps, not the hoaxers, 'cause you can never convince them.
Yeah.
If we can get any of these camps together in a room and go, listen. Calmly. Okay. You believe, I mean, even if you get camp one, it's a terrestrial being that's been here forever.
Mm-hmm.
Get a couple of these guys in the same room and go, okay, listen, you believe that they don't build TPs. You believe they build TPs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's compare evidence.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can all learn from everything.
Right.
Because there are, apparently there are different tribes. There are different species of Bigfoot. Maybe this one doesn't do this. This one does. Maybe this one's a migratory. Maybe this one sticks around. Let's get the evidence on the same page. Let's talk. Let's compare.
Yeah.
Let's come to a better understanding.
Oh yeah.
Let's not be the UFO people. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
A lot of good people in those camps in the UFOs.
Yeah.
But there's so much backbiting, and my theory is correct. Yours is not. I'm not going to listen to it.
Yeah. I just don't like that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm open to theories.
Right.
Because I want to learn.
Right.
And if they want to come to us with ghost stuff, oh, hey, by the way, guys, I'm a Bigfoot researcher. Hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
Put that hand. Yeah, come on over. Yeah.
Maybe they have some paranormal stuff
Exactly
that they've come across that we could help them with. Right. Who knows?
Yeah.
You never know.
Absolutely. And if we can just get, like you're saying, get them all together and just come to a mutual, agreement on one particular thing, maybe they can advance themselves.
Yeah. And work together.
Well, I mean,
that'd be amazing.
They kind of do have something mutual.
Yeah.
Bigfoot.
Okay. Exactly. They have common ground.
There's your common
tracks.
Yes.
Right.
Right. That'd be great if they could do something like that. It shouldn't be one for one. It should be they should all work together anyway.
It comes. I sit here and I think about it. There's so many camps. It's like, okay, who can actually find the Bigfoot first?
Yeah.
And claim the glory.
Yeah,
so
and that's what they want. They all want the glory first.
And instead of just being out there to research and bring forth the evidence and say, hey, Bigfoot does exist. Here's our evidence to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's, now that we've found all the evidence, we know he's existing, let's leave him alone. Just
Yeah.
let him be.
Yeah.
Move on. Find something else.
And who
to-
knows? Maybe one day we'll have Bigfoot on.
Yeah.
He'll be able to explain, or she, whoever,
Right.
You never know.
Bring the
So-
family.
Yeah.
Bring the family. Sit down. Yeah. Take a load off. I don't know. So
But yeah, I mean, para-unity should apply to all groups, all
Absolutely.
thought processes.
yeah, it should.
You know, I mean, Dogman and Bigfoot hanging out together in the woods.
That's
Okay,
right.
let's get the Dogman people and the Bigfoot people together and say, all right, listen, you guys have something in common.
Right.
Let's figure this out.
Yeah.
Don't hate on each other.
Yep.
Yeah. Can you imagine the notes that all these groups would have if they compared notes and
Oh,
came
absolutely.
together scientifically, and be able to compare everything that they have?
That's what I'm
That would
saying.
be
Have them all
amazing.
together, compare notes.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure they would get a lot farther.
Oh yeah. I know they would.
Yeah, but everybody wants it. No,
The piece of their pie.
You can't
and-
see my notes, James. Can't see my
Why
notes.
not?
But what I've got here is going to blow your mind, but you can't see it.
That's
Can't
right.
see it.
Prove it.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Well, you believe they're from UFOs, and I don't believe that, so I'm not gonna listen to you. And you're just a ghost dude, and ghosts aren't real. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Let's
Keep my mind open, man.
That's
yeah,
right.
let's figure this out.
And wouldn't it be great if the three of us from the ghost community that we were able to actually bring all these groups together? I mean, that would be amazing.
It'd be huge.
Yeah, and they actually came to the Oregon Ghost Conference together to check it out, to see, oh, so that's how it's supposed to be. I'm not
Mhm.
saying we would get credit or anything like that. That's not what I'm
No, but
asking
we're-
No.
for. But I'm just saying,
What
wouldn't that be
we're-
amazing? Though?
What we're wishing is that they can sit and talk
Yeah, exactly.
in a room and compare notes,
Yep.
and maybe the UFO Bigfoot is a dog scenario. They
Right,
can go, okay, here's my evidence, and we can go, oh,
right.
okay, that matches up to what I've got over here.
Mhm.
But hey, look what this is what I have.
Oh my
You
God,
know?
that matches up to this over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And then we get a better understanding and go, oh, okay.
Or this is the
Right.
missing piece to the puzzle
Exactly.
that I have
you
over
got
here.
two
Yeah.
separate pieces. Bring them together.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we all do the same thing,
Yeah.
with our ghost stuff and with other groups and compare and I just think it would be amazing because there's too much fighting in the world as it is, like today
Yeah.
with downtown, what's supposed to be happening now. So it's crazy. So why does it have to happen with these groups? So
Yeah, it's just egos. We need to check the
It is.
egos at
Yep.
the door.
I know. I agree. So, well, let's talk for a second about future shows and what you're thinking. Some of the things that you were telling us about before we went on air.
Well, let me see. We got, we can talk about Mothman. We got a smorgasbord of Mothman stuff we can hit.
Yeah.
We got Dogman stuff we can hit. We still got the Pisgah House we got to cover eventually in a show because that's going to be controversy,
Yeah.
and controversy creates
Yeah.
cash.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Right.
because I know we're going to probably get a lot of hate mail from a lot of people for the Pisgah House because some
Yeah.
people believe that she was a good person.
That's all right. I mean, it's it is what it is. You've done
Yeah.
a tremendous amount of research, so you have enough we can talk about
Yeah,
on a future show.
but
So-
I mean, what else we got? We got ghost stuff. We got
Well, and the other thing I was telling you about is I really want to bring a show about ministry and the paranormal because I have a lot of people that want to debate because I am a Christian minister and they want to debate, well, how could you be a minister and be in the paranormal? And so I'd love to do a whole show on that,
Yeah,
bring another
definitely.
minister as a guest and talk to him or her about that. And then also about angels and demons. We'll do a whole show on that and bring some cool guests about that and all kinds of cool stuff. So,
oh yeah, we have no shortage
no.
of topics.
And lots of guests. Jason Keeling from the UK,
Yeah.
from England, and all kinds of wonderful people that we have planned to be on the show. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome. So,
Yeah,
we
and-
got so much lined up.
and those that we have yet to reach out to.
No, yes, yes. Many on the list that we haven't even talked to, but I know that they will be here. So, all right. So I think that's it for today. I think
Nice.
this was a very, very well done topic, and we could probably talk about it until next week. But
Oh
I
yeah.
think I'm going to enjoy the rest of my birthday today and go home with my family.
And happy birthday.
Oh well, thank you.
Yes, we were
I
supposed
appreciate
to. Your,
Sing happy birthday.
yes,
Oh.
your wife wanted us to sing you happy birthday. So
Is that what she said?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just
Lord.
gonna say happy birthday because we
I
suck.
appreciate that. All right, thank you, and I'm sure the viewers and listeners will be happy too. So, well, thanks again for joining us here on Paranormal Crossings Into the Light. And as always, we really appreciate you guys. If you have any other show ideas or comments, questions, feel free to get a hold of us through talkcastPDX or Paranormal Crossings Into the Light. Thank you again. We'll see you next week.
Later.